In this video, I'm going to show you the exact roadmap that we use to build CEO thought leadership strategies. At Heitland Media Group, we have worked with 24 CEOs just last year to help them implement thought leadership in their organization. One of the things that we have seen over the last 2 years, CEOs that are not implementing this strategy throughout the whole business are not leveraging the opportunity to drive even bigger revenue. The first thing that I do when I interview a CEO, I dig into the goal, what is behind all of that? What is the purpose of utilizing thought leadership in that organization? And there are two components of that. Number one is, what is the personal reason for the CEO? That can be the CEO wants to position the organization for the next growth phase for the next couple of years. And as part of that, the CEO wants to grow as an individual to showcase that this CEO is a potential candidate for a bigger CEO role in the next 5 years. So that's the personal angle of that. Then the business angle of that, which is the second component, is truly looking into what are the missed opportunities of the organization, what are the goals that the organization from a business has, and then how can we leverage the CEO and the personality through a thought leadership strategy to drive even more success into the organization. When we have set these goals together, then we look at the next part, which is what are the target audiences that we need to trigger to be able to get to that goals. So we need to break down the goals into different target audiences and then look into details. Who are they? What are they doing? And where can we find them so that we can build later on campaigns to trigger and target these audiences. So going deep into the audience is part of the strategy so that we truly know to whom do we speak to. And obviously, when we know the target audience, we also know the industry. We have the industry where the organization is in right now. Sometimes the company has a strategy to go into adjacent industry, or some stakeholders that are in the target audience are from other industries. So all of that we need to know. Then we look into the industry, we look into what are the trends of the industry, mapping all of that out, then leveraging these trends to then look into how can we utilize the company, the value proposition of that business, and the CEO in a triangle to target the specific audiences inside of that industry. And based on all of that, we look into building a core narrative for the CEO. The core narrative, you can imagine, is the umbrella of the whole strategy. So what does the CEO stand for as part of the role and as part of the business? So we always link it to the individual and we link it to that business. And based on that core narrative, we then go deeper. We take the industry trends, we take the details of the target audience, and then we're building at least 5 personal point of views. So we link that to the business, we link that to the industry, and then we link that to the stories that we did in the last video. So if you're interested in how to build a thought leadership brand, you can go back to the last video that we have created where we talk more about the story. Key part of that is that we make it personal so that it is relatable to the target audience, and then build this strategic point of views that we can leverage in different campaigns throughout, let's say, a whole year to position that CEO at the forefront of that industry. One simple trick that I share with you right now is take a point in that industry that's going to happen in the next 4 to 5 years, and then you translate that point into today's situation. How do you, as a CEO, together with your organization, utilize this point to drive business results today? Think about what's happening with AI in the next 5 years and how can you utilize that today? How do you do that? You explain that in a very inspiring way so that other people see your way of thinking and how you're navigating your organization towards that direction, which automatically puts you in a leading force of the industry, because a lot of people are not thinking about 5 years ahead. So we as a CEO stepping up and showcasing our ways of thinking of the future, but also how we implement it today, will help other people to look up to you. And then the last part of the strategy, which is almost an adjacent strategy, is we are linking the thought leadership strategy to the business strategy. So inside of the business, you have the business strategy, which is the main business direction. And then based on that, you have a marketing strategy, you have a sales strategy, you have all the other strategies. Key part of that is that you look at marketing and PR as the top layer of strategies, and then you build the thought leadership strategy to emphasize the different commercial agendas of that business. If done well, we as the CEO step above the marketing and the commercial agenda in general to highlight the future aspects, highlight the strategic points, and then drive commercial interactions in an indirect way to the points that we want to get across. And then you, of course, build commercial calendars and build that into details when you go more into the operation. All in all, what we do is taking the personality, taking the business strategy, understanding the complexity of that, and then we're building a cohesive strategy that allows the organization to be positioned through individuals and through stories so that it drives commercial success in the following years. In this video, we covered the CEO thought leadership strategy. And what we're going to do in our next video is we're looking into how to launch a CEO as a thought leader in their industry.